I'm going to read you a story today. It's from the book that I read to you before, and the one that had in it Poppy's fairy grandmother and what were the other? The lion who couldn't roar. This one is called, where's the page gone? It's called The Trouble with Lionel. Now, imagine a village filled with dragons, riding around on bicycles, speeding around on skateboards, walking to school. The village would be filled with interesting dragons, and no dragon was more interesting than Lionel. Lionel was only a small dragon, but he had a big problem. Each time he sneezed or coughed or laughed, flames would leap out of his mouth and set fire to everything around him. Once, when he had a cold, Lionel sneezed and set fire to his handkerchief. And once, at the village fete, he laughed and set off all the fireworks at the same time. There's a picture of Lionel. See? On the page. Even Lionel's last birthday party was a disaster. When he tried to blow out all the candles on his cake, the flames toasted the cake, burst the balloons, set fire to the party hats and melted all the ice cream. Lionel's other dragon friends, Dipsy, Droopy and Donald, were all able to control the amount of flames they breathed out. They could light a match or a bonfire or even cook the dinner. But poor Lionel could not. But he's doing his cake at the birthday party. Let me see. Try holding your breath, Dipsy advised him. Try keeping your mouth shut, was Droopy's helpful comment. I've got the perfect thing, said Donald, and he tied his favourite red and yellow scarf around Lionel's jaw. And don't you dare take it off, he told Lionel. Just as you say, guys, just as you say, mumbled Lionel. For a while, the scarf worked. And then Lionel got an attack of hiccups. Help! Gasped Lionel, trying to keep his lips together. His friends tried everything. They even held him upside down while they made him drink a glass of water. They fed him spoonfuls of sugar. They put ice cubes down his back. But the hiccups just grew louder and louder and bigger and bigger. Then everyone ran for cover as a huge wall of flame burst out of Lionel's mouth. In an instant, it burned down the village hall and scorched Mrs. Perkins' washing, hanging out to dry 3 villages away. Lionel, shouted his friends. Sorry, wheezed Lionel, but hey guys, look on the bright side, he said. The hiccups have stopped. From that day on, Lionel had to wear a special mouth guard made out of fireproof material. The accident stopped and life in the dragon village settled down to normal. Then, one day, the 4 friends were given a special job to do. 100 miles away, a wicked witch had been frightening the local people. She put spells on their crops that they shriveled and died. She flew through the streets at night on her broomstick, keeping everyone awake. She poisoned the water in the wells, and she turned the local cats and dogs into mice and toads. Someone had to teach that witch a lesson. There's a picture of her riding on her... I don't know what she's riding. What is she riding? Oh, of course she's riding on her broomstick. For a whole week the young dragons practised their skills. All that is, except Lionel. He wasn't allowed to practice. When they were ready, the 4 young dragons set off, flying high above the fields and towns until they reached the village. There they camped out in a huge cave and waited. The next day, just as it was getting dark, the witch appeared. As she swept past them on her broomstick, her cloak billowed out around her. The shadow of her hat stood out in the evening sky. The dragons watched the witch swoop over the village, chanting her magic spells. They knew they had to put a stop to the witch's tricks. The next day, the 4 friends lay in wait for her. Dipsy spotted her first. He shot out a tongue of flame, but it wasn't long enough. Then Droopy aimed her broomstick, but missed. Donald tried surrounding the witch with a circle of fire, but she flew right through the middle of it. Backwards and forwards flew the witch. She gloated and chanted, "Mud and slime and rotten spells, I will use my magic spells to turn you into hard-boiled eggs with 16 arms and hairy legs." The dragons didn't like the sound of that. They quickly untied Lionel's mouth guard. "Go on, Lionel," they cried. Lionel took a deep breath and blew a huge flame up into the sky. It surrounded the witch's broomstick in an instant. The four friends watched as she fell, toppling over and over, until she finally landed upside down in a tree. I don't know if you can see, because I can't see what I'm holding up. Oh, there we are. Okay. The dragons cheered loudly and shook each other by the hand. They gave Lionel a huge pat on the back. When the dragons arrived back home, there was lots of cheerings because Lionel was the hero of the hour. And believe it or not, he was able to celebrate, but this time without his mouth guard. You'll never guess why. Someone had found out that Lionel's favourite snack was coal. And of course, the more coal he ate, the more flames of fire he produced. And his flames were becoming bigger and bigger. So the answer to Lionel's embarrassing problem was eat less coal. It worked, and Lionel never had a problem with his flames ever again. There they are all cheering. Look. Hooray! There we are. See you again soon. Bye.